The balance is determined by your core business. I always say that if you're in your business, okay, you go back to the food.
Yes.
If your business is selling food, hire a chef. Make sure you're able to manage your procurement.
Yes.
Pretty well. You know where to find things. So that you need to hold close to your business. If you am to sell it online, I don't have to hire an IT department. Okay, I can outsource for a period unless I've got the capacity to then say, it works better for me to have it in-house. You're better off outsourcing what is not core to your business, what is not. So you think about, what are you selling? Okay, if you're in a restaurant business, you're selling food, whether you're selling when people are seated, or you're selling online, or you're doing office delivery or catering, your business is food. Okay, so first build your capacity there. Make sure you're able to do that very well. Okay, without being distracted or having your costs going into formation of departments that are not core to your day-to-day running.
Yes.
And then, depending on the needs, because at times you can find that, yes, you've outsourced your accounts to someone to be doing your accounts, because really the load of work is that this guy or the HR guy only comes in at the end of the month or twice a month. So at that level, then you see your interaction with that particular department is not that high. But then when you get to a spot where, yes, you've outsourced HR or accounts to someone, but this person has to come in daily, okay? Then you then look at your cost structure and say, is it cheaper to hire or to keep outsourcing? Because then the person is not coming in for free. There's a certain fee that you're paying. So then you can then do a comparison and say, if I hired someone, how many do I need to hire to do this? And what will it cost me to hire and retain that staff complement? Because there's your salaries, there's probably the benefits probably you need to push on, and then there are all these increments that come with it. So how many do you need to hire to get that job done?
Yes.
At the same pace? Because what you might not be seeing is that the person you've outsourced to do this job. So there's this one guy who comes, takes your receipts and all that and goes back with them. But he has got a whole machine behind him of people who are crunching those numbers and making sure you get the reports that you need. He probably has systems that are helping him do that job. So you need to be aware of that, even because it's not about hiring people, but then the machine that helps you now deliver that kind of bit. So maybe you may choose to then say there are basics that you can do. If you've got a system that is affordable to get that job done, and then over time see whether it makes sense. Because I've seen people who've recruited and then still gone back to outsourcing
yes.
Because then they realized that in as much as it looked like it's something that can be done by 3 guys, actually it's not. And, I need to buy accounting software, I need to buy, human resource planning software, I need to buy all this, and there are costs associated with it over and above the human beings that you have to also sort. So, so the rule of the thumb is then to look at what is your core business, how is it resourced? Do you need to invest into your core business first before recruiting, support teams?
Yes.
And then even as you outsource, if it gets to a point where you feel that you need to then retain some of these departments, the cost has to make sense compared to hiring. There's maybe some things that may be informed by, your trade secrets. So if, say, you're one of the critical thing about your trade is you don't want your contracts to be seen by, so many people. Okay, or your contractual engagements, you want to keep them closed because they contain a lot of your trade secrets and things like that. Then you can then say, okay, I'll have one in-house counsel to be able to keep, my contracting close, so that then it doesn't get, into third parties that then you do not know what would happen out there.
Yes.
So there might be such considerations. But in principle, for most small businesses, what I've seen is that what is not core to you, outsource.
Outsource.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, let me